'87 tour have grown up a little bit. A little bit, I emphasise. They nailed it straight away.
It must be slightly daunting. But this may be a question for the band, but you must think this. It must be slightly daunting when someone comes along to play something like Echoes, which is such an iconic piece of music that every note of it is embedded in the people who love it, memories inside you. Lots of them here. They must think, blimey, I'm going to have to play Echoes. It must be a daunting experience for them. Do you have any pity for them whatsoever?
None.
Good.
I have to.
Another question from Scotland. Thurso in Caithness in Scotland is where Ian Pearson is from. Ian's question.
What other types of art forms, such as painting, sculpture or theatre, do you find inspirational, such that it influences your creativity?
Well, I think you probably heard that, but what other types of art forms, such as painting, sculpture or theatre, do you find inspirational, such that it might influence your creativity?
It's very hard to say what directly influences you. I would have to say that it's none of those ones that he mentioned that you could pin down. There are books that I would think have been a more direct influence. The covers of a couple of which are in the DVD packaging, ones that are directly, slightly, or maybe a bit more, related to some of the songs on the album.
But generally, that's not the way you work. They don't come from that kind of background.
I think most inspiration is subconscious, and it just sort of picks itself up, clicks into your brain, and stores itself away quietly, and falls out again sometime later.
Adrian Kavanagh is in Birmingham, and Adrian's question is?
David, do you notice the lights and lasers on stage? And if so, do they put you off?
Adrian wanted to know, do you notice the lights and lasers on the stage? And if so, do they put you off?
Rarely. Mostly they're a bit behind me, and I'm looking out, and what looks extraordinarily bright to you people out there doesn't look quite the same to me. But there are moments when you just have to shut your eyes and hope for the best. Our wonderful lighting director, Mark Brickman, out there, when we were in Gdansk doing the last show on the tour that we did, there was a moment where there was so much smoke on stage that people were crawling on the ground, trying to find their various pedals and their amplifiers. We literally couldn't see 1 foot in front of our faces, and it was kind of impossible. And you could say we got a little bit put off, but it didn't seem to affect the whole thing too much.
It's something that right from the very earliest days of the UFO Club with the old slides, the Pink Floyd, and then yourself, now as a solo artist, is very much associated with, and it's something. Is it a tradition you think, well, I've got to carry it on now, people are going to come to a show and they're going to expect that stuff,
When we started the rehearsals and putting the tour together, we were aiming for something smaller, more intimate, but like I say, we did invite Mark on board, and gradually more stuff got introduced, and it does help the vibe and the atmosphere. It's great, it's fantastic.
Chris Kelly, again, I think we can see Chris. Chris Kelly is in Belfast in Northern Ireland.
Your note bending is one of your distinctive trademark sounds. What inspired you to experiment with this method of playing?
Well, Chris's question is kind of linked to the one I was asking you about the old string breaking, because Chris wanted to know, your note bending is one of your distinctive trademark sounds. What inspired you to experiment with this method of playing?
All those blues guys bend notes. It's just a matter of maybe sometimes bending them a little further. I have no memory whatsoever of where it came from, who I nicked it from, exactly where it came from. I don't know. It's just one of those things that sort of developed into what I do.
But it is very much a characteristic of your guitar playing now, isn't it? Yeah.
If you say so.
Yeah. Oh. I think people probably agree with me.
I thought they all did it.
Well, yeah, but you do it to it's integral to the way you play, isn't it? Really,
I guess.
A question from Berlin now. Heike Kriebel is from Berlin in Germany. Can you tell us a little bit about your favourite electric guitar and about the release of the new David Gilmour signature Stratocaster?
Well, Fender are very nicely putting out a black Stratocaster, which is very, very similar to my one, which is sitting right here. But they've done a great job, I have to say. The guitar itself I bought in 1970 in Manny's in New York, and I've changed the pickups and the necks, and I've gouged holes in it and changed the tremolo unit and put it back and put humbucker pickups in. I've done everything to it. It's been like a workbench, but it still seems to be my favourite. So
great. Again, we can see Peter. Peter Martin is in Larkfield in Kent.
David, your music is so powerful it can literally change the way I feel. What music that you listen to has the same effect on you?
Peter is saying your music is so powerful it changes the way he feels. What music that you listen to has that effect on you?
God, I don't know. All sorts of stuff throughout the years. Lots of my favourite artists have done that for me, but it's very hard to pin that down.
Would it be remotely similar to what you do, or would we be surprised, you know?
I guess you'd be surprised. I don't know what there is that's similar to what we do, and there are lots of things that other people bracket in with what we or I do, but I don't quite recognise it. I mean, I'm much more likely to be inspired and moved by something by Bob Dylan or Leonard Cohen or a number of other people than the ones that people think are like us. Sorry.
Matt Lawrence is in Wokingham in Berkshire.
Hi David, my question to you is when you're away on tour, what 3 things do you miss from home?
When you're away on tour, which 3 things do you miss most from home?
Well, I don't know about 3 things. When you're on tour, you're in a cocoon, you know, you're travelling around and you can't escape this little cocoon of all the people that is moving from one place to the other every single day. And getting home and just have that all fall away, and the feeling of space and fields and countryside that is the thing, you know. Can't do 3. It's one general overall thing.
You're not one of those people who, on a world tour, has to send home for Coleman's mustard or the Daily Telegraph crossword or something like that.
Well, we take PG Tips tea bags with us.
Yes,
because you can't get tea bags that are any good in America. So maybe Marmite.
Yeah, Marmite. That's another one. Yeah.
But yeah.
So basically, PG Tips, Marmite, and the English countryside.
That'll do it.
Okay, let's see if you've got some questions for David. Let me just look around. Let me look around and say, I'm trying not to do the automatic thing of asking the first people I see on the front row. So, madam, there's a lady there just by. That's right, the lady there waving. You will have to bear with us while a microphone comes to you, which it certainly will. It's almost unbearably exciting, this moment, isn't it?
Hi David, my name's Anne Marchant from Exeter. Loved the Sid gig, it was amazing, and also the Live 8 gig, that was fantastic. Just like to ask what's on the cards next?
What's on the cards next? Well, I haven't got around to planning that. This thing has been pretty full on and very, very time consuming, and has taken up every moment, every spare moment for the last year or 2. I just haven't got around to thinking of what's next. I'm not done with quite yet, though.